right, everybody. Welcome to another week of Wrestling Talking Kayfabe. I am your host, Drew. This is my co-host, Clayton. And Clayton, what do you want to talk about this week? We got a lot of
What
stuff.
I want to talk about right off the rip is the lowest rated Smackdown of all time.
Is it all
I,
of our time?
I believe so, yes, because last week was their lowest rated Smackdown of all time. So they decided to follow it up with a shittier episode.
Which is
Uh,
impressive because they managed to outdo Road Dogg for lowest
yeah,
rated SmackDowns.
which brings the point a lot of people are bringing up is was Road Dogg the only thing holding the glue together? Because there was a Road Dogg interview the other day where he said he pushed hard for a Kit Wilson push, and they refused to let him do it. So I don't know. Maybe Road Dogg was cooking, and maybe the others were not.
Especially after now that you said that, because I didn't know that he was the one pushing for Kit Wilson. Like, don't get me wrong. What was the Unreal? Unreal made him look like an absolute fucking clown.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. I liked Unreal because it showed some like good beats to it, but they did not paint Road Dogg in a good light.
Unreal. My issue with Unreal is that it's just another thing for them to control the narrative of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not, they're like, you're getting real backstage. And it's like, no, they're still deciding what to record and what to put on the show. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting what they want to see still.
No.
I,
Go
But the
ahead.
reason it was the worst lowest rated SmackDown of all time is because it was spearheaded by known royal family member Pat McAfee. Because
Let's go.
he the thing that gets me really, as I brought it up to you earlier, is that it's whatever. It's Pat McAfee. That sucks, yeah. But what makes it like a million times worse is that they, in the cell phone promos with Randy, he said the words, the person on the phone or whatever said the words, wrestling doesn't only have one royal family.
Which
And it's like,
is.
oh God, that's got to be one of the big guys. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like Pat McAfee, who actually isn't a Nepo baby in this business. We're calling the royal family.
Pat McAfee's from like my neck of the woods, like
Yeah.
lower income suburban, like Pittsburgh suburbs, and like homie. Like don't get me wrong, I respect the shit out of Pat. Pat like went to my university. I watched Pat cost us the national title game, but and I always appreciate his commentary because he gets more animated. I've been watching some like the old videos, and he kind of has like that Jim Ross sort of just vibe to him, and I appreciate that a lot because I feel like that's missing now. But the misdirection here, especially because on Raw on Monday we had Stephanie McMahon come out and be like, "Cody, you don't know what you're dealing with here. This is." Randy's an uncaged animal, and like we had this whole thing go down. They're talking about how they're not their fathers and like everything like this. So like the story's just I don't know who the fuck thought this was a good idea. And like his promo wasn't bad because like I could understand the beats he was coming from. It just doesn't make any fucking sense to come out
For
like
him.
here.
Right message, wrong messenger.
Yeah.
Like, just classic case of that.
Mm-hmm.
My theory completely is that it was supposed to be Vince McMahon. And the
Oh.
reason I say that is because Monday they low-key soft launched the idea of bringing them back. With the promo, he said, Cody mentioned something
Oh, you're
about
not
you're
your
not your
father.
father either.
Yeah.
And that kind of rubbed me away. I thought that seemed like something they were just trying to say. And then I think it was either Wednesday night or Thursday morning, more allegations against Vince McMahon did come out. And then all of a sudden Friday, it's fucking Pat McAfee on this mic after we have royal family talks. And then the Monday promo just doesn't match
No, it
this
doesn't.
Friday promo.
And
Like,
also,
why did we bring Cody to Monday night just to talk to Stephanie McMahon
other than it
and
being the garden.
mention, yeah, of course, yeah, it's the garden and everything. Let's bring Cody Rhodes out. But was it literally just so that Stephanie McMahon could say you're making a mistake? That seems bizarre. Like, I don't know, an opening promo just for that, just to get the shock factor of her smacking him. I don't know.
I think Now that you say that, that makes a lot more sense because, like we talked about, and Pat McAfee's the whole thing with the ticket sales are down. It makes 100% sense. Sorry, I'm slipping all over my words here. That they were trying to bring back Vince. They were going to sloth launch Vince, and that this Vince being back. I mean, besides The Rock and Stone Cold, that's the biggest person you could bring back for this feud.
I mean, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
And
like, admittedly, like I don't want to see him back. He's a horrible
oh,
person, but
I was
admittedly, who's the biggest people you can bring back? And it's the three names you just said.
yeah, and Stone Cold, he's racing dune buggies in the desert, and is like, I'm
Petting
out.
cats. You
Yeah,
don't give a shit about
two
wrestling
solid
ticket
ass
sales.
cats. What? Just follow Stone Cold on Instagram. You will greatly appreciate it. The man's
Hmm.
living his life on a hot. He's playing real life Stardew Valley, and he's like, I race cars in the
He's
desert.
hilarious. He's hilarious. He has nothing to do. He does not want to deal with what we have going on right now.
Oh no, he doesn't. He's like, this is my fuck you price. I'm gonna drive this 4-wheeler and ram it into the side here and cost you guys more money than it's gonna. Anyway, the
I
other.
will say too about it is it was reported that Pat went off script. I
Oh
don't
really?
know where or what part fully, but apparently he went off script. I don't know. It feels really weird to talk about things like ticket sales in a
Mm.
promo that's supposed to be like emotional, I guess. I don't know. It
Yeah,
was really just all over the place. Was it off
because
script? I don't know.
I think I could see. I think with the Raw and Attitude Era stuff, that would make sense because he was saying what Cody's what's wrong, and then Cody's making a Cody Raheem Rhodes joke like a month ago while he's selling his kids merch and
Yeah.
debuting it. The other thing with Pat I wanted to bring up before I forget was did an interview a couple weeks ago saying like, yeah, I'm not coming back to wrestling anytime soon, and like I'm kind of done with it right now, which to me. Because like he's been around for like 5 years now consistently, like
Mm.
doing the commentating and stuff. So like you said with TKO, and I think this is something we're going to talk about, is I think everything has just totally blown up in their face and has blown up in their face since Crown Jewel with Seth. Because clearly the night two main event was supposed to be Roman and Rollins. And I think it was supposed to
Yeah.
be Roman and Rollins because of like, Seth got that win at Crown Jewel over Cody, putting him over the top, and we were going to get this like vision rocket ship trajectory.
Hmm.
And them getting injured, it's like, okay, we can pivot to Braun, we can do some stuff here. He gets injured right after the Rumble. And it's like, okay, well, now we can do Bronson. Bronson tears his bicep in an Elimination Chamber qualifier match. And it's just like, oh, what the fuck? Like, the entire main story that they were going to go for just blew up.
And that sucks, yes. But you're the WWE, you're TKO, you have billions of dollars.
Hmm.
Figure it out. Figure out a new story. Get some storytellers in there. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, the wheels were spinning because of injuries, but like, ditch your ideas. Like, why do we even have the Vision still? Like, what are they're the tag team champions now? Like,
I mean, I feel like the only reason why we're keeping them around is so Seth has a feud afterwards. And like,
right? Is Gunther gonna join the Vision? I don't know. Maybe.
that's an interesting one because like that story just doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like, oh, the retirement king now is going after Seth Rollins, who's younger
Yeah,
than
they dug their own grave with the retirement king thing. They can call him the retirement king, but you can't. Or what was the actual words they were using? The
career
legend, not
ender.
career ender. Yeah, you can call him that, but you can't make that his whole personality. And that was the issue that they did.
Yeah, and which is funny too because we're talking about Seth and Roman being old. And we have the career ender not going after either one of them.
Which they're not going to retire anytime soon, so that would be silly too. But
Hmm.
you just you can't dig your own grave. Like they did the legend killer Randy Orton, yeah, but he still had other stuff going on. He wasn't just ending careers and then turned into his own personality. Like
Yeah, no, it's meandering and stuff, and like I understand why everybody's so pissed off at it because it's like, and it really has been going on since I feel like the Cena heel turn where they're just bringing up stuff, not paying it off, and then we just move on to the next thing. Or like they write themselves into corners so often. Like the Cena just completely went face. He was like, "Yeah, this is not working. Like I am a face."
Yeah, they didn't even do a storyline with it.
No,
He just came back.
yeah, he just came back. Let's have a fun SummerSlam match. But don't run. That SummerSlam match was great. But I feel like really there's only two things right now carrying. Like if they did not have Oba and Brock pulling as much weight, like if that was meandering like Randy and Cody and Punk versus Roman, I think there'd be full blown pitchforks and torches right now. And as much as Danhausen was hated, he's kind of carrying shit at the moment with Kit Wilson and The Miz.
It really is.
And
Which is concerning. He was the best part about Friday Night SmackDown, and he wasn't even in the match that he was the best part about.
Yeah, no, and I was like, oh, we can talk about that a little bit because my wife loves Kit Wilson. Kit Wilson's probably been the new superstar, I would say, of this year that was in-house and wasn't recruited from elsewhere. Besides Oba. Of, like, the new, like, mid-card guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
But we eventually get Rollins and Gunther. I don't know. Hopefully they'll probably build it these next couple weeks, hopefully.
Yeah,
I'm sure even hired Gunther is probably the...
I feel like that makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Because we got, like, 2 weeks left. We got 2 shows on each brand. Because today we're recording this on Easter Sunday. So we got 2 more... What's up?
It is. Yeah, it is just 2 left, dang.
Yeah, so we got 2 more Raws, and we got 2 more Smackdowns. So, like, some of the storylines I feel like have stalled out. Like the women's tag match. I don't know what the fuck we're doing with that. Because that's just been meandering for like a month now after we built up the tag division to be this like super cool thing. And then
they're still building. They got a match announced.
They have a match announced, but like Lyra and Bailey were facing Charlexa. And then the Irresistible Forces just came out again. So I'm like... I feel like we're just kind of respinning our wheels after kind of announcing that match.
I mean, yeah, that's what's going to happen every time you do a Fatal 4-Way tag announcement. I mean, no one's going to pin anybody. They're just going to kind of just attack each other for weeks. That is the build for that. Okay. There's nothing really else they can do.
No, not really. And then what else do we have? Oh, let's talk about the other terrible thing on SmackDown besides Pat McAfee. I'd argue it's worse than Pat McAfee. And that is Cucky Zane demolishing Carmelo Hayes out of nowhere, being full Sammy Hogan. Hey, inshallah, brother. That's not going to work for me. I need this U.S. title.
Just some full Sammy Hogan shit, which I'm like glad that Trick is getting a chance. And I am going to say he wins at WrestleMania with Lil Yachty's help because... That's who his manager is now. It's Lil Yachty. They found a manager for someone who is worse on the mic than the guy who he's managing. Like Trick Williams is a fantastic on the microphone. Why does he need a manager? That's the reason for managers.
Trick Williams is probably the best shit talker out of everybody.
Which I'm assuming they dropped Lil Yachty the second WrestleMania is over.
Oh yeah, it's definitely just to kind of pump some ticket sales. Like, hey, do you want to see Lil Yachty?
I mean, that's what had me on the edge. It's like, well, I would get WrestleMania tickets, but Lil Yachty isn't there. And
fuck, bro.
Now Lil Yachty's there, so I got to get WrestleMania
tickets.
I don't know.
What is it? What is this, 2018? I could not name you a Lil Yachty song, but I'm obviously not his key demographic here.
He sings that one song with Kyle from like 2018.
Okay.
That's all I know. That's all I know.
I know like the I Spy song and like that.
That's one I was talking about.
Okay, yeah, that's the only one I know. And then I was like...
let's hop into Raw from this past week. Steph and Cody ripped it off. Like we said, pretty pointless promo. Steph slapped Cody. We think we know why. Yeah, like, I don't know. It felt like that was Vince McMahon's soft launch and them mentioning his name. And
yes, and also, like we mentioned, WrestleMania is kind of imploding on itself with the ticket sales. Like Pat brought it up in his promo that they haven't sold like 30% of the tickets are on sale, and like they're doing 31.6% sales, 25% off sales.
Let me go see on a resale site how much money it costs right now
Okay.
to get into WrestleMania, and then I could probably tell you. Oh God, they're getting desperate. Never mind. Hold on. This 2-day pass, you can actually get a 2-day pass for $400 right now.
How up in the ball are we?
Oh, you're up.
Like last
You're
row?
up. Oh my God, yeah, like tip of the top. You're in the sky.
I mean, it's the Raiders Stadium, so it's not like the worst seats, but it's still
But
not
that's
great.
so far away. Like you're just watching Jumbotron at that point.
I mean, that's true. You're there for the atmosphere and everything like
Yeah.
that. But like, are you facing the stage or are you like behind the stage for that?
This is the 300. You're like, I think so. From what I'm seeing, let me do this on camera. Running or I don't know what I got going on. The ramp is this way.
Okay.
So, and the seats are this way. So it's
Okay.
furthest away that is the
Okay. So you're
400
like,
to get
so if
in.
like the stage is here, you're kind of like going straight back. Like if you kept going in a straight line, you would hit your seats essentially. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not the worst. I'm not saying
It's
it's
not,
good. I'm not saying it's
but
good.
that's because they're severely on sale as well. This should just be starting prices, if anything. Like, this
Yeah.
shouldn't be on sale prices.
No, and I think also those Saudi shows, because like the UFC is also doing fucking terrible because the TK owns the UFC and the WWE. For those of you who do not know that, which is a very weird combination too, because you have sports entertainment with like professional fighting, and it seems like a match that's not supposed to work. If I'm being completely honest, because the
No.
way those two promotions work and everything, because like we've had crossovers before. Brock was in WWE, then he went to the UFC, then he went back. We had Ronda in the UFC, and then she went to the WWE, which
Don't
is
forget CM Punk.
we were. I was gonna bring up CM Punk. CM Punk is arguably the worst UFC fighter of all time, hands down. But also, that man got had the cojones to get into that
Yeah,
ring.
that's fair.
That
Yeah, that takes balls.
that's true. I mean, don't get me wrong. Is he was I mean he trained. He was also in his like 30s when he was doing that, which is not the time. Like you hit 30,
No.
if you're not doing it, it ain't gonna happen. Like I say this as someone who did Muay Thai. I'm a purple belt in Jiu-Jitsu, almost brown belt. Like you don't want to be like. There's comes a point where you're just like, yeah, man, like not on the cards for me. But props to him for actually he did proper camps and everything. He got dogged walk, but like hey, he got in the ring, so we'll give him credit. But it's just a weird marriage of companies too, because like of how they're trying to network the shows and like like it makes sense if you look at the arenas they're going to a lot of the time because like UFC will be in a place and then WWE's there right afterwards, which is also part of the reason why I think they went back to Vegas this year for Mania because all the TKO executives that are with the UFC and stuff are all based in Vegas. So like the UFC is based out of Las Vegas.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it was of course successful last year,
Mm-hmm.
but that was like I think it was so successful last year is because people are like, "Oh shit, it's in Vegas."
It's in Vegas. It hasn't been in
Yeah,
Vegas.
when's that gonna ever happen again? And then it's like, oh,
Well,
it,
we could also talk about how Vegas is just imploding, and Vegas is arguably the most expensive city to be
I
a
was gonna say it's
tourist.
not. You're spending
Oh,
$350 on your shitty 2-day passes, and then that's not even including hotels and
no.
everything else you're gonna be spending.
No, like I went to Vegas in 2021 for my friend's wedding. So this was during the pandemic. We had to like mask up and everything like that. And I remember we went to like the Meow Wolf there, and like we got some cocktails at like the bar, like literally in the same like weird shopping little plaza it was at, and it was this is in 2021, so 5 years ago almost. It was $35 for two cocktails,
Yeah,
and
so it's $50 now.
oh, it's 50. No, it's probably like 60 or 70 now.
Yeah,
And then when I wanted to do like a little bit of gambling, it's Vegas. You gotta do
Yeah,
a
of
little bit of
course, it's
gambling.
Vegas. I'm gonna spend every bit of my money there.
Yeah, well, that was the other thing. Is like there were no table games. The minimum buy-in. I was at Mandalay too, so like not like the
Yeah,
nicest casino, but it wasn't like the one with the
cream of the crop.
yeah. Well, it's at the end of the strip. It's a little older.
Yeah,
They got like videos and like the thing. They're like from 2005. People are still smoking there and everything. It's like it's a bit dingy. It's a bit dingy. And the minimum for a table bet was $20 if you wanted to go to a table and play a hand of
I thought
blackjack.
you were gonna say something crazy. Of course, it's $20, Drew. It's Vegas.
Well, this was 5 years
It's
ago.
$10 in Missouri casinos.
Well, this was 5 years ago, all right, man. Look, this is five years ago before like things got super crazy, and then
I thought you were gonna say it crazy.
oh, well, this was at Mandalay. This was at Mandalay. If you went to
$20, that's cheap. That's a buy-in. That's a
listen, I was trying
normal
to bet
table
like
buy-in.
fucking like a $5 a hand, right? Because I was a poor grad
Exactly.
student at the time. We went to it's the one I think no, it's not the Venetian. It's the one that's got like the fucking giant fountain that people go to all the
Yeah.
time.
Anyways, Vegas is expensive.
It was that one was $100 a hand.
Yeah, that Vegas is expensive.
Yes.
It's rough.
It's not great.
So continued. Steph and Cody's promo ended up being completely pointless. There was no payoff for that. Then we got the pretty good tag team match
That was a
between
good one.
Vision and the Usos. Speed ended up punching LA Knight.
Because he was ringside.
Well, because Speed was cursed and he didn't mean to punch him, of course. And then LA Knight showed up to Speed's house and kicked his ass on stream,
I mean,
which was pretty good.
it's pretty good. I feel like I said, we were talking about Lil Yachty. We're trying to get the celebrities and the streamers involved as much as we can to get like their audiences. I will say that is a smart marketing tactic to have LA Knight just go, yeah, I'm gonna beat your ass Speed on stream. Which I know.
And the thing is, a lot of people aren't even really upset with Speed. They're kind of, it's like they pulled up that SpongeBob scene from when Mr. Krabs tells all the customers to get out of there, but just randomly points at one customer and he's like, besides you. And then they had all the faces of all the celebrities of him tell him, get out of there. And then he just points to Speed and he's like, besides you, you can stay.
Well, I feel like Speed's been involved for a while. He likes the product.
Mm-hmm.
He's not being shoved down our throats like Jelly Roll. Like, as much as, like, I don't have a problem with Jelly Roll, but I understand why people don't like him as much.
Yeah.
Because he's just been there a lot. But I will say, he's throwing matches and doing, like, showing up, so.
What I appreciate about Speed is in his, like, third appearance, he got sawed in half by Brian.
He did, dude.
And then thrown so far.
I was thinking about this before we got on to I know we're meandering a lot today, but I was thinking about why this build-up sucks so much, and I think it's because the Chamber and the Royal Rumble were kind of ass. So when those are ass, like, your build is just kind of like, okay, these shows really need to pick it up, and, like, the shows have been okay, but I feel like it's just, like, this implosion where, we're not getting good story beats, we're not having good moments, like you mentioned Speed getting sawed in half. That was a huge Royal Rumble moment where everyone was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Speed just got annihilated. Which is like, I couldn't tell you one exciting thing that happened at the Rumble besides.
Meanwhile, at this Rumble, like, we had Brock Lesnar getting eliminated in the middle of yeeting.
Yeah, because Brock's like, I'm done. Throw me over.
Yeah, and it's like, so, like, they just don't give a shit about, like, actual storytelling. It's like, well, you can't have two cameras on at once, and people all wanted Brock Lesnar to have a run in the Royal Rumble, so, like, him in the middle of Jey Uso's entrance getting eliminated, it's like, that's such a small detail, but it also just kind of shows that TKO just don't know what they're doing or care.
Or I feel
like that just can't happen.
No, and I feel like there's another thing I saw where, like, I think TKO was the ones who brought Pat in, and I think that makes sense. And, like, I think I saw something on Reddit where saying, like, Cody was pissed off that they keep getting their fingers into the story and they aren't actually allowed to just tell the stories.
Yeah. That was basically Cody's whole promo when he came back out on Friday.
I think I caught, like, a little bit of that because we were, like, rewatching Smackdown.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of the biggest thing that happened all week was Cody wasn't scheduled to come out again or anything.
Oh yeah,
He tweeted, "I apologize for that" in the middle of the show. Like,
yeah, because
yeah, that's like kind of the biggest thing that happened this week.
okay, yeah, because they finish up and they just crossroad Kit Wilson. And it was like, I'm here and I'm pissed.
Yeah. Well,
So,
let's run through Raw really
okay,
quick.
sorry about that.
So the Visions win the tag team titles over the Usos. With Speed punching LA Knight, that I think just continues into probably one of our final Mania matches that get announced. Usos versus the Vision. I don't know if it's just going to be them. I feel like it's going to be because they want to do a title match for Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Some people seem to think that it might be a 6-man tag match
With
with
Speed.
the Usos adding LA Knight and then the Vision adding Speed because Speed is accidentally heel, I think, right now. he doesn't mean to be heel, but he is.
My favorite part was just like after that, they're kind of promos, and it's like, "Hey man, you gotta stick with us. You know, everyone's gonna come after you. We'll protect you." And Paul Heyman's like, "Yeah, Speed's dead. that man's dead.
Yeah.
That man's dead." So
That man's dead.
I think
That
yeah,
was pretty good.
that one hasn't been confirmed. I think we get that one confirmed this week. I could see. I think that would you go for the belt if you're doing a triple 3-man tag match?
No, you won't. They won't do it for the belt
Okay.
like that. I don't think they've ever. I mean, I'm sure they have at some point. I feel like I don't know though. I can't think of anything like that.
I know some people have floated the idea they should make the Raw tag division be a triples division because I know
Yeah, that's just kind of
AEW's
the meta right now.
yeah, because
That's just copycatting.
AEW, yeah. Well, I mean, we gotta rub AEW's dick in the dirt a little bit here. as like if you're WWE as a brand, that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems very copycat to me. AAA's already got their trios belts. I wouldn't do that. And then we have Lash and Nia retaining versus Lyra and Bailey. The Bella Twins got involved. We kind of talked about this earlier, how they're just kind of spinning the wheels, but they kind of have to.
Mm-hmm.
Because Charlotte also got involved, which actually resulted in the DQ. Yeah, nobody's going to pin anybody until.
I know Lyra and Bailey got pinned by Charlotte on Friday.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. Did
And
anyone
then-
get him? Didn't they get him? Somebody get involved?
I think
though?
Lash and the Irresistible Forces showed out and were like sucker punched him or something like that. So it wasn't like a clean pin.
Oh, okay, yeah. You won't get any clean pins, I should say, during this feud.
We should talk.
And then of course they all did a brawl.
Yeah.
As usual.
Ladies, it's announced. You can all settle this
Yeah.
at Mania. They announced like 5 matches on Monday.
That was kind of crazy that they just started rolling them out. They're freaking out. They're sputtering hard. They're like, shit.
Speaking of, the other match they announced, which I thought was real funny because Penta did this, he was just like, I want you all, come for my title on the ladders. They're like, oh yeah, we were having qualifiers on main event.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And then Dragon Lee lost a qualifier and then beat another guy to get into the... Like, it just makes no sense if you went
Like
back.
you couldn't fit those qualifiers into your dog shit 3-hour SmackDown somewhere? Like...
No.
Oh, well, it's the IC title. Of course
IC.
not, but still, like, I don't know. Maybe we didn't need Punk and Roman throwing each other through an announcer desk for the 15th time. It's okay if you have a match with Rusev and whoever his qualifier was with. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
don't
also
watch main
Rusev,
event.
like Rusev, JD, and like all Dragon Lee, like all those guys are good. Javon's
They put
like-
on good matches.
Yeah, no, this should have been real fun. You could have had some stuff with Rio and Bravo, squashing them.
Yeah.
Speaking of the IC title, though, which is, then we'll get back into kind of the main creme de la creme this week, is OG, El Grande Americano's trying to get into the IC title ladder match, which makes sense. You know, get a 6-man kind of going there. Because I was watching, actually, WrestleMania 17, and the original, like, TLC match for the tag title was a 6-man match, so it kind of makes sense to kind of get another man in there. So I don't think we're getting Americano versus Americano this year.
No, he'd probably insert his way into that. Before we had the IC title, though, we had Triple H getting in between Lesnar and Oba again, of course, save it for Mania, blah, blah, blah. They're just going to kind of probably stare at each other for the next few weeks. I don't know if either of them will stand tall on each other.
I feel like
But
I think Brock will get something tomorrow because he hasn't gotten to stand tall against Oba yet.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
then, go ahead.
and like honestly, this has been the best segment. This was
Yeah,
like the holy shit type of thing. Like their moments have been so good, and like we mentioned earlier, if this doesn't, if this wasn't landing, I think we would be people would be
it'd be
way.
rough.
Oh, it'd be so rough. I think most of us would probably stop watching if this wasn't carrying kind of the card.
But I also think that like they've got to realize this has to main event.
Uh,
I mean, it's got to main event one of the nights.
do you?
You can't have your only anticipated match not main event.
Mm-hmm. Do you? Who
Like
do
these
you?
other matches are anticipated, but like we said, they're kind of just whatever.
I mean, do you? But who do you bump? Is the question.
I don't either of them, in my opinion. Like Punk and Roman is getting unbelievably boring
Mm-hmm.
because they kind of just seem like they went away from the bloodline stuff this
Yeah,
week.
the Usos never showed up again after they lost their
Yeah,
titles.
so I don't know. And then Randy and Cody, if we're just getting fucking Randy and
Pat McAfee.
if there's some other payoff and they're just like jerking our fucking cocks around, then that's awesome. But like if it ends up actually being Shane McMahon or something like everyone thought it was going to be or wanted it to be, cool. But if it's just Randy with Pat McAfee versus Cody at Mania, you can put that at any point. No one gives a fuck.
You know,
Like we wanted to care, we tried to care, and now we don't care.
I was
They made
like,
it very quickly
I feel like
where we don't.
that's the one they're gonna kick most likely because I think Roman's got too big of an ego to be like, "Fuck you,
Yeah.
I'm not meant to main
I'm not gonna
eventing."
do it. Let's just main event. And then if of course The Rock is or showing up or whatever, it's gonna be night two main event.
Oh yeah, hundred
But
percent.
if they just do a regular Punk and Roman match, because there's no like hidden opponents or anything, so like we're getting no surprises at this point at Mania, unless like The Rock comes and saves Roman. So I
I
don't know.
I could see that because it's like I'm trying to think of like what they could do here because I feel like they've played all their cards here, and like there's nothing to like show because like I know we talked about this in our Discord there where we were watching Mania Pops, and like I don't know who's gonna come back because like somebody usually comes back at like at WrestleMania or there's like a big moment
Exactly.
of
Yeah,
like
like somebody returns.
of a reveal, and I feel like it's gonna be like because everything's just been so miserable. They gotta tease something else, but like also all their teases have just completely backfired. Like Danhausen backfired. This Pat McAfee, it was just like you ever see that like Tom and Jerry like little meme where he like sticks the double barrel shotgun and it comes around.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like happened with Pat.
It just feels like they're just like so out of touch of the things that we want to see.
Mm-hmm.
So I like when they had Danhausen in the box, I bet they were sitting up there in their chairs going, "This is fucking awesome. They're gonna love it. It's fucking sweet."
It's gonna
And
be
it's
sweet.
like, let's tease it for a month and a half. And it's like we could have just had another month. He could have just showed up one day. That would have been fine. And then yeah, with Pat McAfee, it's like we teased it for 3 weeks, and they're like, they're gonna fucking love Pat McAfee. Half of the people were jumping for joy the second he said he wasn't commentating anymore, but they're gonna love it when he comes back. And it's like, all right,
Remember, brother, we're in a new era. Nick Khan's run the show.
yeah, that
So
reminds me. I listen to a lot of Survivor podcasts, and they say the phrase "new era" a lot. And every single fucking time they say it, that's all I hear in my head is Triple H's voice. Oh, new era.
uh,
It's like, oh my god, it's bleeding.
all right, but getting back into our Raw recap here, we got Penta retaining against Kofi. He announced he's doing the IC ladder match. I think that one's gonna. That to me, besides Oba and Brock, is probably my sleeper pick for match of Mania. 'Cause, like there's
Yeah, it
just
probably will end up being. I wouldn't be shocked with the people you got in it. They're ballers, man.
yeah. We'll recap this for everybody here. So we got Penta, we got Javon Evans, we got JD McDonough, Rusev, Dragon Lee, and like four of those guys are high flyers. Rusev's just an absolute dog brawler.
Yeah.
And like I remember
It
we
seems
did.
like we're adding maybe Americano, and it is like, which Americano was it that cut the
Uh,
promo?
Kaiser.
Okay, yeah, that would be even better.
Yeah, because he was talking doing with Rio and Bravo. I think that'll be a fun shenanigans. Because he's got like the beef with Javon. They got the beef with Penta. Rusev and Dragon Lee are great. JD McDonough's also great, and I think it'll give them some more legs with that. Let's talk about this now, and then we'll get back into the rest of the Raw recap. I think if they really want to be a new era, I think Javon's got to win, Trick's got to
I
win,
think
and
Javon
Oba's got to win.
wins. Yeah, I think those are also the. Yeah, I think all three of them. They should clean sweep the WrestleMania card.
Yeah, I think the only one that I could see potentially losing it or not winning their match is Javon, but just because there's so many other people in there.
It's gonna end up being 6 probably. So
Yeah.
it's like fuck.
I
Plus,
mean,
it's like Penta's title reign has been cool so far already.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah,
do
no,
we
no.
have to get rid of that? Like,
no. And you can set up a feud for him and Javon after this. Like,
Yeah,
easy,
exactly.
if Javon doesn't win, but also that gives Penta.
you know, Javon's going for it. He's right there at the end. He's getting ready to grab it, and then here comes Penta flying off the ladder and grabs it over him.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, now we're setting up Penta and Javon, which will be great.
Yeah, or Penta gets the title because Rusev just spear tackled Penta and he's like laid out in there. He's like he didn't really lose it to Javon by a pin, so
Yeah,
I
and
think
that
that's
happens a lot in these ladder matches.
so I think that's the story we're gonna do for like Backlash and everything because I think those two can just carry Raw until SummerSlam. Honestly,
Yeah. And then Raw rolled on. We got the announcement while Paul Heyman was out there that Seth Rollins has been cleared. Of course, he attacked Heyman, and then that's when we got Gunther, which set up this Mania match we don't know about.
We did get an improvement on Seth. He wasn't wearing a mask. He was not wearing a mask.
So yeah, I guess maybe that's the distinction. You have to be masked if you're not medically. Like I don't know. Thank God he just came out. We're done with that.
If he wasn't in an all-black suit,
stupid ass gimmicks. Thank God.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we got rid of the stupidest gimmick, but he was in a full black suit, so that was cool to see. The stupidest gimmick is by far the lantern, which we'll get into.
We did get rid of that.
Oh, they are, but are we done with it though?
Yeah, we'll get that on SmackDown.
Okay.
I was talking about on Raw with like the Usos. We're done with the Jey Uso running through the crowd and everything. It seems like.
Okay.
And then we got after that, we set up the Mania match with Gunther and Seth, which is kind of less of a story builder and more of just this is going to be a good match, probably type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see both these guys at Mania. Braun Breaker's hurt. Rey Mysterio's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of felt like those were those two that maybe those guys would have went at. So let's put them at each other. They do this a lot in wrestling, honestly, when they just have like two ballers. And they're like, fuck, we got to get them on the Mania card. And it's like, well, let's put them at each other. Or they'll ask one of the top guys, who do you want to work with that Mania? And then they'll pick one. And it ends up being, another top guy.
Yeah, because I know Breaker did that. Not Breaker. Undertaker did that when they're like, who do you want to work with? He's like, Ric Flair. Oh, yeah, I want to work with Ric Flair. Like, there's no story there. He's like, yeah.
I believe they asked AJ Styles one Mania as well, who he wanted to work with. Last year, I mean, even we had Randy Orton. He picked Joe Hendry. So,
I mean, I think there's some potential there because, like, those two could also have a good feud because then after that, I feel like that's your number one contender for the heavyweight title because both of them are former champions. Gunther never got a rematch. Seth's coming back from being injured, so...
Yeah, Seth never lost it.
Yeah, he had to vacate it, and then Gunther lost it to Punk, and then he went on, I'm going to kill John Cena, Goldberg, and AJ Styles. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and then we got the show. Oh, well, we got Raquel pinning Io after distraction from the Kabuki Warriors. Io was trying to save Kairi from her estranged
Kairi.
Yeah. Fucking. So my assumption is we're gonna have a custody battle over Kairi Sane at WrestleMania between Asuka and Io Sky.
Are we gonna do it as like a ladder match where they gotta get a contract who gets the paternity test?
That's how it should be done.
Kyrie's playing a PSP in a corner. For those of you who don't get that, look up the Dom and
Mysterio.
Eddie Dominic
Yeah,
Mysterio custody ladder match between Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio.
yeah. That's the only way I see this going with Kyrie. How
Okay.
else will she get away from Asuka?
Do you feel
She can't
like
just walk away, apparently.
no, she cannot. Do you think they do this the Raw after Mania, or do you think we get this as a Mania match?
I don't think we get. We could. It really just depends on if they go with 14 or 16 matches. Even with 16, I don't think there's room for it. We'll get into
Well,
that, though, of course.
yeah. All right. Then we had an interesting promo at Madison Square Garden where nothing happened and no one talked shit.
Yeah. We just got Roman and Punk beating each other out.
He's like, we just got acknowledge me, and then Punk came out and said, "Fuck you, buddy. You're not my guy." And then they were just brawling. Punk
Like,
did.
fuck, how do we end the show? Punk and Roman. Oh, well, how do we end it? The exact opposite way as we ended it last week. Okay.
Which, I mean, I think it's funny because, like, the promo before wasn't bad. It showed, like, Punk's, like, just being a smarmy asshole, like, getting in their heads, causing the family division. And then Roman didn't get to say much. And then just Punk's just beating his ass for no reason because his cousins weren't there. So, like, we'll see what happens tomorrow because we've got 2 Raws left. But
yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if what happens tomorrow is the exact same thing.
But is it Roman beating Punk?
I don't know. We already got that, so they might knock each other out. They might accidentally both go through the announcer desk this time. Like, we actually... Here's my prediction how Ryan's tomorrow.
All right.
They both get on the... Oh, is there always 2 announcer desks?
No, there's only one.
There is only one on Raw. Damn, yeah, never mind. That's more of a... I was going to say he jumps off the other one and spears him, and then they both go through it, and they're both dead. But...
I could see that.
I don't know. My ending is they both go through the announcer desk somehow together, and they both lie there dead. Together.
Like Punk goes for GTS and like misses it or something like that, or like the Usos slew foot him and then they both fall. Okay, yeah, that makes I can see that.
My prediction is they both go through an announcer desk tomorrow.
We
gotta hit the trifecta.
That's true. Do you want to do some match predictions here with this card? Do you want to do Smackdown? Or
we'll just roll into Smackdown first real quick. We'll do it pretty quick because it was quite literally the lowest rated Smackdown of all time. We already talked about the big thing. Randy and Cody going at it, and then Pat McAfee is the mystery caller. And
wrestling has more than one royal family on Pat McAfee.
It's the McAfee family. The very well-known in wrestling.
Let's go. Me and my boys from my podcast are the wrestling's royal family.
That one dude, that former Packers player that just sits there like this all the time.
Oh, AJ Hawk. He's like, I'm virtual and I smoke a cigar and I talk to my boys.
He doesn't say a fucking word. He just... anyways, we can, like I said, what I said earlier.
We're having fun today.
Message, wrong messenger.
Mm-hmm.
Could have got that message. Someone said they were like, well, someone had asked before SmackDown, they were like, is worst case scenario, it's just Randy talking to himself? And everyone was like, yeah, that's worst case scenario. And then everyone was like, oh God, it was not worst case scenario. This is worst case scenario.
All right. I do want to pose the thought experiment. Who could have been worse than Pat McAfee?
Oh, man, that's tough because it's like, you could say something funny. You'd be like, Hornswoggle. And it's like, no, that would have been kind of
That would have been pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know who's worse than Pat McAfee. Michael Cole?
But Michael Cole's been around.
I know. I don't even know if that's worse than Pat McAfee.
I'm trying to think
Bob Orton would have been better, even though people didn't want that. They would have still preferred it over McAfee.
You know who probably should have been there, but would have been really funny? Ric Flair, I feel like, would have slotted in really well.
Him. He would have shit his pants.
I was about to fucking say that. He would have been just shitting his pants in the corner. I feel like...
And then be drunk in the corner cutting a fucking, what are the cameo?
Woo! I'm here at WrestleMania. Woo!
Cutting a cameo for $75. I don't know.
I feel like Ric Flair could have been worse because he's so old and just drunk all the time. Actually,
Yeah,
I do
people would have
know
liked it better.
I do know who would have been worse if he was still alive. Hulk Hogan.
No, it wouldn't have been worse than
You
Pat
don't
McAfee.
you don't think it would have
No.
been worse than
Mm, no.
Okay, all right.
I think Nishin would have been worse than Pat McAfee.
Misha. Also, yeah, let's talk about Misha and what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that was another boring match. Then the trio just attacks Rhea. It's whatever. That's EO saves Rhea. I'm sure we're just gonna get random tag team matches between them these next 2 weeks until Mania. It'll be like EO and Rhea versus BFAB and Mishin, and then maybe Rhea and EO versus Jade and Mishin the next week. I don't know.
I feel like that. Someone was saying Santi's predicting this, which I don't think is gonna happen because, in my opinion, that I feel like Jade has lost the plot and like I don't know what happened. And it seems like the locker room's against her, but like Santi's like, no, Jade's got to go over on Rhea because Bianca's gonna come back and cost Rhea, and I'm like, that makes no fucking sense to me.
No.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like it makes sense for like their feud and everything like that. Like yes, we want Bianca to come back, but like Bianca's great. She had a really fucked up hand injury, and like that is the only. I don't think she's gonna come back because she's injured. And then to cost Rhea the title after we brought her over from Raw, I just
That would be bizarre if Rhea doesn't win this. I will bet my left kidney that Rhea wins this match.
I would agree with that too. The only other thing I could see is I saw someone on Reddit say we're getting an EO turn at Mania to cost Rhea the title.
Which I brought that up.
Did you bring that up last week?
I brought not specifically there,
Okay.
but I did bring up EO turning heel. I think
Mm-hmm.
because she was like weirdly happy, like she's happy, but she was happier in a different sense this
Mm-hmm.
past time. I feel like, but I don't know as well.
Yeah,
She could go back to the Kabuki Warriors after, and then I don't know.
I could see that, but then like that doesn't make sense with trying to save Kyrie because like
Yeah,
so like
it feels like EO's stuck in two timelines right now.
yeah, because I feel like to me your future big Mania matches that you have for like next year is Cody Roman and Rhea Io. Those are your big ones. Those
I think we have
both.
to get back to Cody Roman.
I know they were supposed to do it this year, but then they couldn't agree on the finish because I think both of them don't want to lose to each other.
I don't think we were actually supposed to get that this year. I think you're just reading.
I'm probably reading something
Nobody
dumb
wanted
online.
to see Cody and Roman. Everyone wanted Randy and Cody.
I mean, I want Randy and Cody, but like this is what I was reading online, so
Yeah.
you know, take it with a grain of
I
salt.
predict we don't get Cody and Roman at WrestleMania for 5, 6, 7 years if Roman is still doing it that long.
Really?
They won't go back to it at 43.
I guess I was like trying to view it as like a Stone Cold Rock kind of like storyline where like they gave that a little time to breathe and then they went back to it.
Yeah, but I think this needs more time to breathe. And with that feud, the only reason it was good with that time to breathe is because those guys were constantly doing other things. Roman doesn't do other things, and he won't be there to build a year-long storyline back up.
No, I feel like the only.
I say we're damn near at the end of Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I would agree with that because I know
I would not be completely shocked if this is his last WrestleMania.
I think he's got one more in the tank.
Well, I think he definitely does has one or two more, but I wouldn't be shocked if
Okay.
this was his last.
Sorry, I misinterpreted that. My bad. But yeah, no, I can agree with that because like. Yeah, because I don't know where you would retire him though at. Because or do you think he just does a Stone Cold and just does it unceremoniously, like that's his last match?
Yeah, I could see that. No, I don't know. Roman's pretty egotistical. He's gonna want a whole
Retirement thing. Because I know this SummerSlam's going to be Brock's because they're at Minneapolis this year, and that's like pretty much Brock's like closest hometown area because he's from South Dakota, but like that's where he cut his teeth.
Which, of course, this is long term, but that'll be interesting to see if it's Oba or Gunther at that point.
I feel like
Brock
you do
kind of feels
Gunther.
like the guy too that refuses to lose his last match.
You know, there. if there was any two people in WWE that should have won their last match, it's Cena and Brock. And I feel
Mhm.
like we can all agree with why it should be like that. You know, like they've done so much for the business, it makes sense that they would end on a high note.
Yeah, but if Cena does it and Brock does, I'm gonna be pissed.
I mean, everyone's gonna be furious, but then
Yeah.
again,
But like I said, his ego, he's just gonna show up that day and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm not losing, by the way." And then what are they gonna say? Like,
how funny would it be? I mean, I could see it happening because if you want to get rid of Gunther's career killer gimmick, you have him lose to Brock at
yeah,
SummerSlam. I mean,
yeah. Like I said though, you can keep that gimmick around without making it his whole personality.
mm-hmm. Have him
That's
go.
where they faltered.
I would agree with that. All right, getting back into this, Rio saves
We
CV.
got we got the Rhea and EO bullshit, and then we got what
The
I think is
worst.
the end of the Lantern. Howdy pinned Tama Tonga, and then Tama's like, Solo, no, you're obsessed with it, which he is. And then he gave it to Howdy. I don't know, maybe it was a fake lantern.
I I see something going on because it looks like the MFTs are going to break up.
You think?
I think
Yeah.
so because, like we were talking about last week, we both kind of agreed that Bloodline 2.0 is coming back in some sort of way. Because, like,
Yeah.
how else are you going to keep people's interest? Because, like we said, if this Mania, this build up's been god awful. If they do not stick the landing on this, oh, buddy, it's going to be a rough ride.
Yeah.
And I feel like, Rock being back, you do a Bloodline reunion. I think that makes the most sense in terms of the story to get people reinvested.
I can see that. Do you think actually I'll get into that later. We'll just dive into SmackDown still. Aleister Black beats Cardona, which continues to make everyone forget that Aleister Black clean pinned Randy
Uh,
like a month and a half ago.
Drew McIntyre interfered with that one. He sucker punched Randy. And then
Did
Randy
oh
hit.
it wasn't clean, was
Yeah,
it?
and then
Yeah.
Aleister Black hit that black mass on him as he was like stumbling back. I feel like
Yeah.
Aleister Black's going to be the contender for like backlash and stuff after this.
Yeah, I could see them like even almost as a. I doubt he beats Randy, but if Aleister Black ends up being the transition champion, I wouldn't be shocked either.
No, because then you get like Randy doing other stuff and everything like that.
Yeah, but I do believe that's when Cody came back out.
No, it was after
Or
Kid Wilson and Danhausen's
it was
little.
more of the Dane has. Okay, yeah, I had that a bit backwards. Their recap online also had that backwards, which is interesting.
That is interesting. I think because they needed to front load that because people were so pissed off about that, and they needed to kind of have them be more
Yeah,
dramatic.
so we actually got Danhausen getting involved in the tag team match, which was the best part of this terrible episode of SmackDown. I think.
Honestly, he is like the Miz is doing great with Kit Wilson. It was funny too because Kit Wilson was like, "Yeah, man, I've been cursed. I've been feeling toxic. I'm grunting at the gym. This isn't me. This curse." And Miz is like, "The curse isn't real." And then he's like, "We're going on there." He's like, "R-Truth's like, hey, what? You guys want a title match tonight?"
Yeah,
He's like, "I'll go talk to
such
Miz."
a funny promo.
And Miz is like, "See, we're not cursed. We got a title match. We're gonna go out here. We're gonna get these tag titles." I forget what Miz's like acronym is. What's it?
Yeah, he did say something.
Yeah, like zone something, zone in. He's like, "See, it's working." And then Danhausen shows like, "Hey guys, I'm coming down the ring with you." And Miz is like, "Get out of here, Danhausen. We don't want you here." He goes, "What is this?" He's like, "It's my teeth for when I go to the ring."
This fucking guy. And then the hot tag from R-Truth.
Oh yeah, so they're in the middle of the match. They're going through and like they're starting to fight, and then all of a sudden Danhausen's. It's the first time his music is hit for him to be in a match, and he just starts walking down to the ring, and the ref's like, "Get out of here! You can't be in here!" And he's like grabbing the rope. Contact from
Need the
Mark.
hot tag. You just see Damian Priest in the background watching, like, what the fuck is going on in the ring right now? But
Real quick, I do want to mention our truth's gimmick about John Cena's my childhood hero, and that's where I wear jean shorts and do all of John Cena's move, even though I'm 7 years older than John Cena.
he should retire with that gimmick. That's
Oh,
how he should run it the rest of his
oh,
career.
the other fun gimmick that's brought back. He's like, yeah, we got the Judgment Day back together because it's R-Truth and Damian Priest.
You guys want to join the new Judgment Day? It's completely on a different show.
It's
They're just going to be Friday Night Smackdowns Judgment Day now, I guess.
it's fucking hilarious. So anyway, we
They're
get
just leaning into Wepa Truth then, I guess.
Yes.
He
So
did have a Wepa shirt.
he does. He does wear those Wepa shirts. But after the hot tag, Danhausen comes in the match, and Miz is like, "Get out of here!" And Danhausen's like, "All right then, you are." And then cursed, and Miz grabs the referee. The referee gets cursed, and as the Miz has the pin, he goes 1, 2, and he's like, I've torn my shoulder, and I can't get the third tag. It's just
I hope that they roll into next SmackDown announcing that guy's out for like 3 months with like a shoulder tear of some sort.
Yeah, and if you watch the match, he had to use his other arm to do the 3 count.
For Weapon Truth when they retained. This was by far the best part of SmackDown, which is not good.
It's not good, but it's so good that I'm glad it could just be its own very big highlight. Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think we get a little? Danhausen's going to get involved in Mania somehow, and I feel
He's
like
got to be at WrestleMania.
Do you feel like he does 2 curses or 1 curse? I feel like he's going to curse 2 people.
I don't know what he does at WrestleMania. I'm very interested.
I think he gets involved in both tag matches.
Very well could.
Because he cursed Speed, and that's that tag match. He hasn't really been involved over there in Raw. He's just in backstage. But he's also been fucking with The Miz, so I could see him being involved in both. Or that they do. Do you think they could do like a double tag match where they get both belts in like the same match together?
Look, I don't think they'll do it at WrestleMania, but they've done that before, yeah.
Okay.
Where they become unified champion.
Okay. I was just wondering if you thought that could happen there. Because I know that's the only thing.
I mean, but that would involve the Raw and the SmackDown champion beefing with each other, and with 2 weeks left, that's way out of the picture.
That's true. That's true. All right. Moving on here. We got more women's tag team matches. We talked about that earlier. Nothing really happened.
Yeah.
We got Weapon Truth. Sammy, and
well, no, we're missing. Cody came back out after the Weapon Truth match and was a completely unscheduled promo as well. That was reported. He called Pat McAfee Logan Paul without muscles, which was kind of funny.
I mean, it's pretty accurate. They're from the same area of the country. Makes sense.
Yeah. He called out TKO, and this is where I can't tell because it was unscheduled. And I can't tell if that was like calling out TKO or if he was calling out TKO because that's what storyline they want to fucking do. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
I can't tell if that's real or not. And I also I don't know. He told the cameraman to get the fuck out of his way when he was walking back down. So he kind of seemed like he was pissed.
Yeah, I think he's pissed because I know Pat McAfee was also dropping a couple F-bombs too when he did his like promo on Cody. So, do you think it's a pipe bomb type of thing?
That's what I'm wondering because he did say like the line of "Oh, fire me," but how'd that work out last time or something like that, which felt really like real, but also at the same time felt like something very manufactured. So I don't know.
No,
I don't know. And it could also be like a sense of like he talked to Triple H and Triple H is like, I'm also tired of this. This is my show. You go say that.
Yeah.
So there could be like internal beef or it could just be all fucking work.
You know, I'm curious about that too because I wonder how much. Because going back to the Vince thing. Because clearly, I think we both realized that this was supposed to be Vince and Nick Khan because of the stuff there. And I think Cody and Triple H and Stephanie were like, all just like, we do not want this. And
yeah.
Because if you also listen to Pat's promo, he was talking about how Cody had ruined wrestling in particular. And I was like, I don't feel like we're quite there yet, but I feel like that's something, Vince would say. It's a very Vince corporate thing. And if Vince is
Mm,
coming back, he's messing with the product. That this is his baby. This is his
yeah.
life's work.
And so it felt like, yeah, it started out like what would have been the promo, but then it just turned into Pat McAfee probably being half shot and just rambling.
Mm-hmm. And because also he shoots a podcast like pretty weekly. Where was SmackDown out this past week? I think it was
St. Louis.
St. Louis. So it wasn't Randy's hometown. That's pretty close to
Mm.
Indiana. So they probably were just like, who's the closest person that we can get to come here last minute that we know works with people and can have like a good vibe.
But they also did low-key tease it because they released a list after, I think it was last Friday nights or the Friday night before, whenever Randy was originally on the phone.
Mm.
They released a list of potential callers, and Pat McAfee was on that list.
Okay.
So they could have been their idea. I don't know. It sucks though.
It really does. But does it suck worse than Sammy fucking Hogan?
Continuing to bury people who are 100 times better than him and Carmelo. Yeah. I don't know what the point of that was.
I think it was just to kill the momentum for people wanting Mello in there, which to me is
I
the
think so too.
biggest fucking disservice because him and Ilya have been carrying SmackDown on their shoulders. And just to go, fuck you, buddy. Like,
And now neither of them will have a Mania match because it seems pretty locked in that this is Trick versus Sammy.
yeah, because we have 12 confirmed matches. You and I have like our card pulled up. And like,
We already have a couple multi-person matches.
Yeah, and
So I think this is just Sammy versus Trick.
yeah, I
Which
would
is
agree with that.
disappointing.
Yeah, especially because Little Yachty's there now, as we talked about earlier. And
Yeah, as Trick's manager, I don't get the point. I know what they're doing. Yeah, of course they're trying to get celebrities involved. I don't think that Trick Williams needed a manager out of anybody though.
no, I know Little
He's
Yachty's
awesome on the mic.
Yeah, no, and like I think it's the only place that they could slot Little Yachty in because I know he's a fan of the product and everything. We're like, who
Yeah,
else?
because he went on a big tweet and he's like, "Please don't think I'm blah blah blah, like overstepping. I watch every Monday, Friday. I've been to countless PLEs, and it's like that's cool, man. Doesn't make it make sense, but sure."
I mean, it's bad too whenever Speed makes more fucking sense with his involvement and like getting cursed by Danhausen randomly than having Little Yachty there.
That's the thing, like we said before, Speed is bringing it to his stream, to his audience. Like, there's payoff for TKO. It's like, is Lil Yachty gonna make a fucking song with Trick Williams? I don't know. Like,
Do you? Okay, this is one question I had, and I wanted to pose to you. Do you think that Pat McAfee or Sami Zayn was worse? And I feel like the reason why people are more up in arms, honestly, is because I know Pat McAfee's getting all the heat right now, but I feel like had Sami Zayn maybe lost to Mello, people wouldn't be as soured on Pat. But I feel like
I don't
Sami's
think that would have changed the outcome to that.
Oh, you know?
People separate
Okay.
parts of the show. I don't think that would have mattered if Mello won it back. Pat was bad. Pat will always be bad there in that situation.
Okay, that's fair.
I think that was by far one of the worst things that they've done in this. We're in April of this year. That's probably the worst thing they've done this year.
I would agree with that just because it's so close to Mania and you can't, like...
If they wouldn't have, once again, we've talked about it before with the box, if they wouldn't have just, like, put so much hype into it to where we thought it was going to be such a big payoff, then if it would have just been a random promo that they were yelling at each other because they have a title match and Pat slides in and kicks Cody, it's like, oh shit, Pat's here. But it was like we called on the phone and called ourselves or said something about a fucking royal family and wrestling, and it's like, that's Pat McAfee.
Yeah, no, I think, that's all right. Then no, that makes a lot more sense. Where like they're building up so much stuff to where it's going to be like, oh shit, is The Rock back? Is this person back? And then we're just kind of getting middling returns. Like Danhausen, like everyone thought that was going to be Chris Jericho because I think everybody wants to relive that like 2000s peak era nostalgia. of like
Mm-hmm.
what WWE was. So
And it's
okay,
like
that
we
makes
love Danhausen, and Danhausen isn't bad. Danhausen wouldn't have been bad if the box would have showed up that night.
Like what the fuck is
And
this?
we started off Elimination Chamber with, what is this giant fucking box right here? But instead, we used it for promos and
For two
ads for like
weeks.
a month and a half. Well, yeah, it was
Yeah.
only a couple weeks, but it felt like longer.
Well, no, like they really hyped it up. I mean, fucking R-Truth cut a Papa John's ad
Yeah.
with the box, and it's just like, all right, but guys, like
Johnny Gargano was depressed on top of the box.
that was a little funny, I will say, but yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
needed. It wasn't needed.
No.
So it definitely feels like you're saying we've been talking about with the amount of celebrities involved. TKO is like, how can we sell more tickets? What can we
And
do
they're
to sell?
just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks.
And it's
That's
just
not how you do wrestling, man.
no, you got to have long investments to view the interpersonal dynamics of these characters, and we're not getting that. So,
No.
all right, let's go into our confirmed matches, and then so we have to. They announced 4 matches on Monday. So right now the matches are we got Punk and Roman, we got Cody and Randy, Jade and Rhea, Stephanie and Liv. You know our elimination Royal Rumble matches. I just saw what you put Sammy as on there. We got Sammy Hogan or Cucky Hogan. Let's do Cucky Hogan versus Trick Williams. Oba and Brock, Fatu versus Drew, Seth versus Gunter, Finn versus Dom. Which we didn't even talk about that in our Raw recap. Finn just cut like a backstage promo that was pre-recorded, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is happening now."
There wasn't really much build up for it there. Like, I mean, they've been build up for it, but just like on this episode itself, there wasn't much.
And then we got our IC ladder match, and then we got our women's tag team match. So we're at 12 matches here.
And you skipped AJ and Becky, but
God damn it. Well, that one's also been a sleeper match of just like this has been going on for too long.
yeah, just it's like they're stuck in that lull of everything is either too long and drawn out or everything has no build up at all. And it's like
There's one exception to that where I feel like Opa and Brock have had like it's hitting and it's hitting really well. Everything else
how you build something.
Yeah. Everything else is just kind of
But that's not them building it. That's those two building it themselves. Which I mean that's half the business. But Cody and Randy are trying. But then they're like, "Oh, here you go, Pat McAfee." It's like, what the fuck are we gonna do with this?
Do you? Oh, all right. All right. I got a question to pose to you. Would it be? Do you think, hypothetically, let's say Randy and Cody they're battling in their match, and all of a sudden we hear "Let's go." Is that going to be worse than Fiend last year with John Cena? And if Pat McAfee cost Cody the title.
Oh, I forgot that's fuck yeah. If Pat McAfee directly affects this match in any way, that's fucked.
Okay.
And if no one comes on Cody's side and they just let in kayfabe the whole backroom watch Cody lose the title because Pat McAfee got involved, man, you'll hear boos from that Mania crowd.
Okay. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head that would be an interesting, fun cost is if Randy and Pat both punt kick Cody at the same time. I feel like that would be the only thing that would work there. But still, I can see in your face.
But I don't think if Pat is directly involved in this match at all and costs Cody in any way, I think that's completely stupid.
I mean, I can agree with that. I feel like it's gonna happen unless we get a. Actually, you know what? I think that's what they were gonna do, and Cody Rhodes was like, "Absolutely the fuck not! We are not doing this."
Because it's like Cody's kind of like in that Cena realm where he's like, "I will lose, like that's fine. I'll lose the title."
Oh, so
but every once in a while, every once in a while they're gonna be like, "I'm not doing that." Like when Jack Swagger was supposed to beat John Cena. You don't even know who Jack Swagger is.
I don't know who Jack Swagger is.
Yeah, exactly. Jack Swagger was supposed to cash in the Money in the Bank on John Cena. And that is like the few times Cena in his career has said no. Because no, it would have been stupid. That guy sucked. No. Yeah.
That is fair.
And I
So
feel like that's where we're at with Cody on this, where he's just like, no, absolutely not.
okay. So with that being said, we have these 12 matches. We're probably getting between 14 and 16. I'm
Hmm.
probably more leaning towards 16, honestly, because we don't have either title belt left, we don't have Io on here, and we don't have Raquel.
We
And
don't have Tiffy. And the only reason I
oh,
know
and
she sucked lately, but the only reason I keep bringing Tiffy up is
she's
because
in
she is
that,
on that fucking poster.
and so's Io.
Yeah.
Then those two don't have anything. So,
Hmm.
so yeah, they didn't even do anything with Tiffy and Julia this past week on SmackDown, did they?
No, I think Tiffy is completely mentally checked out. She
Yeah.
doesn't seem very interested in the business anymore.
Yeah, because I think we talked about last week where she said she wants to go to Hollywood and stuff, and I
She's
think
gonna be a fucking horrible actress. She's gonna be fucking terrible.
yeah, she's not gonna be good. Um,
No.
I think personally, I think she got pissed when she wasn't getting her rematch with Jade, which I think is kind of stupid. They took the title off Tiffy, even though they like saved her. Like, oh, Tiffy's injured. Tiffy's gonna lose.
Yeah.
So, but
I don't know. I don't think it was stupid that they took it off her because her momentum had been dying hard and her title reign got pretty boring. It was just the fact they didn't do anything after is why you feel that way, I would
well,
say.
I
If
feel
if Jade would have had a good title reign after that, it would feel way different.
I feel like I would agree with that. And also, Tiffy only got like two. She got Nia Jax and Jade. That was her constant just feuds. She had one feud with
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair, which was pretty good. Although I'm wondering if she's getting punished for dropping that like divorce line in the
Yeah, like
promo.
long-term punishment. I
Yeah,
wouldn't be shocked either.
that makes a lot of sense. So with this, I feel like the matches that we got left for potential others, we gotta get Tiffy on this card. I feel like we gotta get
Io.
Io, and I feel
We're
like
getting Io and Asuka.
I think Io and Asuka with Kyrie. I think that'll be a good moment. I
Mm,
think you could go a couple ways with that. I
yeah.
think I think if Asuka beats Io, you get Asuka a little more momentum because she's just been eating pins left, right, and center. She's also never won a Mania match. I saw a statistic about that recently.
Hmm.
So, plus then I feel like that plays well into the Io heel turn.
Yeah, if that is the route they end up going, which I think they might.
Hmm. And then if
Uh,
go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
and
I was
then
going to just say Vision and Usos are pretty well locked in, I think, in
I
some kind of
yeah.
fame or fashion.
Yeah, because we don't have either tag titles matches announced yet, so we got to get those on the card. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think Raquel misses it? I mean,
Yeah,
she's
I think she's missed her chance at this point.
okay. Do you?
Every once, I mean, every year you unfortunately do just get
Okay,
good people left off the Mania card.
okay. I know they're still building her up pretty well, so I was just curious what your thoughts were.
Raquel, I could see her being, um, her and Liv kind of going at it because she wants a shot, and we're just gonna get Dom and Finn redone in a different form.
Mm-hmm. And then, but Roxanne's back now too. That was another
Mm,
return.
she returned.
So let's do some Mania predictions over here with our confirmed matches. I feel like of the four main titles, the one that's probably the most up in the air are the men's titles because I feel like Punk and Roman can go either way. I'm leaning towards Punk because unless the Bloodline really kicks off next week, I'm thinking it's
Yeah,
gonna be Punk because why are you gonna
I'm
have?
leaning Roman because of the bloodline.
Okay.
Even if they don't kick it off these next couple weeks.
Okay. Do you think Roman wins if they don't do Bloodline at Mania?
No,
Okay.
I think he only wins if it's because of bloodline.
Okay. I agree with that. Cody and Randy, I am leaning towards Randy because I feel like you want him to get his Mania moment, hit 15, ride that for a little bit because I don't know where else he would get 15 at because then you're like, unless you want him to win the King of the Ring.
He just signed a 5-year contract. He's Randy Orton. He's got
He
that.
did. I didn't know about the 5-year
Or I
contract.
think he did a couple years ago, but Randy isn't going anywhere anytime soon. He's kind of like he's got that Roman Reigns effect. He don't got to win shit. He
Okay,
can just insert himself into a title
that's
match.
true, and you can get him 15 later on down the line.
Yeah,
So, all right,
that's the reason I see. Now I'm leaning more toward that. Before I was leaning towards Cody retaining, but now I'm kind of leaning towards Randy because they're like, fuck, what do we do? Everyone hates everything. Let's let Randy get 15.
yeah, and everybody was really pissed at Cody when he won the title back from Drew randomly on SmackDown after like the whole contract stuff. So it's funny how we went from we hate Cody to fuck Randy and Pat McAfee in just a span of like 2 weeks, like 3 weeks.
And the reason I don't even think it was more or less hating Cody, they just hated the way they could have just done a triple threat or a fatal 4-way with these, including Fatu, in my thought process here. And it's like that would have been just way cooler.
Yeah, because either way you get, because if Drew, like, you can also save a lot of people too, and like same thing with
And
that.
Drew could have kept holding it. He could have just feuded with Fatu, and then I don't know, like they could have done better.
Moving on, Jade versus Rhea. I don't have a doubt in my mind. I think I honestly might gamble and put money on Rhea because I am so confident in Rhea.
I'm interested to see those odds because I imagine it'll be like where it won't even be worth gambling. Rhea will be so favored.
You know what? I'm gonna pull up Kalshi.
Is Kalshi where they
That's
can you
predict.
bet on?
Yeah, it's prediction.
Yeah, I know it's
market.
prediction market, but I wasn't sure if they did
Oh,
WWE or not.
oh, you cannot get WWE on Kalshi.
I was gonna say I don't think they do. There's a couple.
Okay, let me pull up WWE betting odds. All right, I got Bet US.
Bet US. Yeah, let me just pull up the same thing.
Oh, interesting.
So
Dom and
there's.
go ahead.
I was gonna say it looks like. Okay, no, I found more of them.
Oh, that's
Rhea Ripley's only minus 300. So
That's-
actually, it could be worth betting on because there's no doubt in my mind either.
I will say Roma's more of a favorite, which I think is crazy.
No, that makes complete sense.
More than Rhea Ripley?
Yeah. Well, yeah, those two. I'm surprised Rhea's not more of a favorite. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that story, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I can see Roman winning. I wouldn't say he's a minus 500. That's crazy to me.
Jacob Fatu at minus 650 also feels like free money.
Oh,
Even though that's crazy odds, but like because Drew's going through
Highlander.
movie. Yeah.
So,
Trick is very favored over Sami Zayn.
I think he's
over Seth Rollins.
He's the highest favorite.
JD McDonough, poor man. That man has no odds basically to win the fatal 5-way.
Okay. All right then. Well, let's go back to the list here. So Rhea and Jade, I think Rhea's gonna win that one. I think we're both in agreement on that.
Yeah.
And then Steph and Liv.
I think both women's titles change.
Yeah, she's a minus 500 favorite. I think that makes a lot of sense.
It's time for them to change.
I think it is. I think they're doing great with the beef. I think it's really good in elevating Stephanie's character. However, I think we need some more interesting dynamics with Raquel.
Just kind of died a little bit. They were hot with it there for a minute. They were doing really good with the women's Raw, and then they kind of stalemated a bit.
Hogan versus Cucky Hogan. Yeah,
you skipped AJ and Becky.
God damn it! It's because it's so forgettable. AJ and Becky for the women's IC. What is it for the odds?
Becky wins that. Yeah, I'm curious. Is AJ Lee's about to retire?
Yeah, I think
she was never going to be around long.
I think we get a retirement stipulation tomorrow from them.
We could, yeah. Or, like I said, we still have the next Monday night, we have to have something big. AJ Lee versus Gunther. Retirement match.
I will make you retire, AJ Lee. Like a little bitch.
Crazy. I think we both think AJ's going to win that. I think we both think Trick Williams is going to beat Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
They want it. Sami Zayn, my theory is he threw a complete fucking fit. He wasn't on Mania again. And they were like, all right, here you go. The plan was always for Trick Williams to win it at Mania, probably.
Mm-hmm. Because I feel like the Mello feud, which makes more sense, but I guess if Trick goes back to the Open Challenge, we could do some stuff after Mania.
I think the Open Challenge is probably pretty dead. Or is going to be dead. Yeah, because I don't think you can do it forever. Like, you eventually just have to create organic storylines with the U.S. title.
That's true. That is true.
But it's been awesome, which would suck when it goes away. I just think it will go away.
I could see that. I could see them bringing it back every so often, like they do some stuff with it, but I agree. I think it might. Sammy Hogan fucking killed the title challenge, which is hilarious because he brought it into existence.
Yeah. Then we got Oba versus Brock. I think Oba's going to win that. People are pretty indifferent on that.
I could see that one going either way, but I think if we want to make a statement here and we're thinking about the long-term storytelling, maybe this is another thing I was thinking about. I think, because Cody's very involved backstage, I wonder if TKO is like, no, we need our big stars to win. Like, we need Brock to go over, and, like, they are just like, fuck you, fuck this from happening, these new guys need to win and get over at Mania. And
I wouldn't be shocked, yeah. You can long-term storytell either way, too, because Oba can finally, get his lick back at SummerSlam, blah, 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 retire Brock. But I think it would be absolutely moronic to take the only thing, like, not the only thing people are hyped about, but damn near the only thing people are really hyped about, and then just shut it down.
Yeah, no, he's the hottest thing. Oba is the hottest thing, which is funny because his initial build at the beginning of the year was like, it was like, okay, when's he going to come? When's he going to come? When's he going to come? And it's actually working really well. So I agree with you. I think unless, like, the only way I can see is maybe if he loses in, like, a close match and, like, something fucky happens or, like, something like that.
Somebody does get involved.
Yes. Or if it's not a clean pin or if it's, like, a last-minute kind of thing, I could see that working. But Brock should not go over clean.
I think Oba should start a new streak. He should be the next streak holder.
Honestly, after this past week, I agree with you. He should be the next big thing.
He should be the next, like, main attraction at WrestleMania, like The Undertaker always was, while not having a title match.
Oh, yeah. I completely agree. All right,
because you have to have those stars like Undertaker, like Brock Lesnar, who don't have to have titles.
It's just they're the big deal.
Yeah. Fatu and Drew, though, like you were getting ready to say.
That's Fatu, 100%.
Yeah. Because that's the outside. If it was just kayfabe, I would be like, oh, fuck, I don't know who's going to win this. But, I mean, we know external factors are involved here, so.
And also, if Fatu loses this, I don't know what you do with him. You can bring Drew back. Like, Drew can come back and build stuff up. Like, we're trying to get Fatu from, like, mid-card into main event. And if you, like, stumble on his transition into main event.
And surely to fuck Fatu is the next beef with Cody or Randy.
Yeah, I would agree.
Is my assumption. Which we already, of course, got Cody and Fatu a bit, but, like, we can go back to that and
and we never explored that
people will be
story.
happy.
Yeah.
We got Seth and Gunther. I don't think that match ends with a pin. I think that it ends in a DQ.
I would agree with that. Is it normal for Mania matches to have DQs?
No, like, it'll be the only one.
Okay.
And it'll be in, I don't know if interference type of way, or it might even be a DQ. We could get a dirty pin.
The one thing I could see happening is Braun Breaker returns at Mania. If he's not, like, fully cleared,
Screw Seth.
Or he just comes into the match, spears Seth, they call it DQ, and then, like, that's the match or something like that.
I could see that, yeah, because you don't really want, it's because, like I've said before, they backed themselves in the corner with making Gunther the career killer. You don't want him to lose because he just beat John fucking Cena.
And AJ Styles.
But you also don't want Seth Rollins to lose because he never lost his title.
Mm-hmm. So, and I feel like, if you set up that feud, because Braun should be back soonish in a couple weeks, because they didn't know if he was going to be back quite in time for Mania. So, like, to me,
Hmm.
that makes the most sense for story. After this, you say both Seth and Gunther, they can challenge for the heavyweight title. There's a lot of interesting dynamics there. Moving on to Finn and Dom. I want to hear your thoughts first, and then I'll give you
I think
mine.
Finn wins.
Oh, interesting.
I think from payoff in a way, like that elevates Finn also to the main card.
Mm,
Like he had the Punk feud,
mm-hmm.
but I feel like if they hadn't announced the match already and they went into Finn's hometown and were able to see that reception without announcing the Mania match, I think
Mm-hmm.
Finn would have won that match.
I agree with that
Or
take.
maybe I'll put it in this sense. If that match would have been post WrestleMania, like I think it might end up being again,
Like
Finn
the
wins that.
backlash.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm of a different mind. I think Dom wins because, like Jacob Fatu, I think we kind of need to get some new lifeblood into the main event scene because it's like we've had kind of like the same, at least for the world heavyweight side, we've kind of had like the same like 5 or 6 characters be involved. And I think we need like a new character kind of in there that's going to be a new main staple. And I feel like Dom had his run at the IC belt. He's got his AAA thing. He's probably going to drop that to Americano down there. And I also think, if Ray's getting close to retirement, I know his daughter's getting in training. It makes sense for like Dom to kind of be up in that upper mid card, lower main event. So I think he's going to go over
See,
on
that's where
Finn.
I think your Ray point makes it even more of a point of why Dom wouldn't be.
Oh, that's a good point too.
Because you don't need him to be elevated if he's going to have a good feud coming up.
Oh, that's a good point.
And he's also still, at this point now, spearheading the Judgment Day.
That's true.
With those side alliance or like groups like that, not counting Bloodline, I feel like you don't get a lot of world champion representation out
Mm-hmm.
of like groups like that. I know they had Liv when she had it and stuff,
And
or
Damian
Rhea when she
Priest.
had it, and Damian Priest, but that felt more of transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Dom's gonna get his moment, but it's gonna be big, and I think that's next WrestleMania or the one after that.
I can see that. I guess it depends on who you want to elevate here, and I think that comes down to the question. Because like, if you elevate
Yeah.
Dom, I feel like that takes away from Obatrick and Javon.
Mm.
And
And if you don't let Finn fully, because Finn was already kind of getting to that main card, if you don't let him fully do that, it's kind of like he's now stuck in dead man's land.
that's very true, especially as like a face and everything like that. And
Yeah, it's like, oh fuck, what do we do with Finn Balor now? He's not part of the Judgment Day,
hmm
and he just lost to a mid carder.
that's very true. Let me see what the betting lines are. The one thing I do want to bring up though is when Edge left the Judgment Day, I think he did beat Finn, so that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's.
I'm gonna say Finn wins this. I think he was a minus 275.
Yeah, it's a plus 200 Dom, minus 300 Finn.
Okay, yeah,
So,
yeah. No, I think Finn definitely ends up winning it.
do you think we get Ray returning and
No,
costing Finn, or do you think Finn goes over clean?
I think Finn wins clean.
Okay. All right.
You don't have to protect Dom right now.
Yeah, that's fair. He's still Healy. He's got his AAA thing. I think you're right. That makes a lot more sense. All right. Moving on to the ladder match. I think really there's 2 people who could win this, maybe 3. Let me see what the odds say. That was at like the very.
The odds say exactly what you think they're going to. Penta and Javon are the only two that can win it.
Honestly, the only other one I could see doing it maybe is Rusev. That's my like dark horse pick.
That's my least probably.
More than JD.
Yeah, he hasn't even been on TV.
That's true. That's true. That
The
actually
other
makes a
two
lot.
at least are on TV. It would be kind of insane to just be like, all right, this guy who hasn't been around in like 6 months, he's your IC title holder.
He's on main event though. That counts.
Yeah, he's right there wrestling Royce Keys, I'm sure.
Royce Keys hasn't. Oh, that's another one. Do you think we get a Royce Keys
No,
pop up in Mania. Yeah, where the fuck is
no.
that guy been?
People don't even know who he is anymore. They ruined that already.
Yeah. All right, Irresistible Forces, Charlotte, Bailey, and Lyra and the Bellas. I'm still thinking Bailey and Lyra.
I think so too, because it is like, I don't know. I don't know. I think that it's Bailey and Lyra, and I can't really explain why.
I feel like, well, one, them kind of eating pins on Friday due to interference. I think they have the most potential afterwards to explore story arcs. I mean, you could have them win the titles and then drop it the Raw after. I mean, that's what happened with Lyra and Becky Lynch last
Yeah,
year.
that would be fucked if they did that to Lyra 2 years in a row.
But the
Or
reason.
if they run it back, like Danhausen kind of teased it in a. I don't know if it was a TV promo. I saw it on Twitter. Danhausen had a promo with what he called Bailey and Bird Girl, and he mentioned something about someone replacing Lyra, or well, he said now Bailey. Now we need to talk about replacing Bird Girl for Danhausen. Danhausen will be at WrestleMania.
You know, that
So
would
I wouldn't be
actually.
shocked if Lyra did get taken out.
That would be funny because then it plays into last year's thing where, like, they didn't get to have their WrestleMania moment together last year. They're not going to have their WrestleMania moment together this year. And that's something you can kind of, like,
And then
build
they
in.
win tag team titles next year at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah, I could see that. That makes sense. Because it would be
Uh,
funny if, like, the Bellas attacked them behind stage or something like that. Because
the
the
Bellas are
Bellas,
heel.
yeah, they're Healy. I mean, Nikki had that whole beef with Stephanie. So
It
that.
was completely out. That low key killed the momentum of the women's title.
Well,
We could probably trace that back to that.
then again, that's because you had all your stars in the tag team division, and I feel
Yeah.
like the tag team division now is just slowly just.
And that just felt like another TKO thing. They're like, oh, fuck. Hall of Famer Nikki Bella, they're going to fucking love this. It's just like, stop. What are you guys doing? We don't care about Nikki Bella.
Let's see what the odds are on this one. I don't think we looked
I
at
didn't
that.
look at that one. But the thing, a counterpoint I was going to say about Lyra getting taken out, I don't know if there's any big comebacks ready. Like, we had Becky Lynch locked and loaded last
Hmm.
year. This year, the women who have been gone are Naomi. I don't think they've had their
She
baby
hasn't had
yet.
her baby yet. No,
Yeah, Bianca, we've said for obvious reasons why she isn't going to be back. And if she is going to come back, I don't think it's going to be for this.
it's not going to be in the tag division. Like,
Yeah, with Bailey.
no.
And so it's like, I feel like there's probably a glaringly obvious woman I'm missing that's been hurt, but I can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
Trying to think. Chelsea
Who's
Green, maybe. I could see Chelsea Green working with.
inserting herself?
Yeah, I could see, like, because that's like one we haven't talked about that's been carrying a lot of weight. I could see something with who's Aleister Black's wife? I forget her name.
Zelina, they won't put her in it.
No, I didn't think she was gonna.
Her gimmick is she doesn't wrestle anymore and she follows Aleister Black around.
That's also very true. Who else? I'm trying to think. No, because we got Alexa back. We got.
I do think we maybe get a Charlexa turn on each other here.
I think that would make sense. Costing them that. I don't think Irresistible Forces are breaking up. I think they're okay in
No.
the tag division. I think they
I
should
also
stay
don't
there.
think they're retaining though,
No,
but they
ooh.
could.
You know what? Honestly, I think it could be. It could be someone from NXT.
Okay, so like that's a thought. You take out Lyra, and then oh shit,
Soul,
here's
Tatum
Sol Ruka to
Paxley,
replace or Tatum.
Zarya.
Yeah,
I mean, we've been highlighting Soul a lot.
I think that one girl just lost her title to she was in AEW and she was a star.
Sasha Banks.
No, the blonde girl, the
Tony Storm.
wears like no Tony Storm. Tony
No,
Storm
Tony
is
Storm.
not in the WWE.
Well, I thought you meant like AEW.
The girl trying to steal Tony Storm's gimmick. Yes,
Oh, Blake Monroe.
Blake Monroe. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's probably gonna be her because she lost to Tatum Paxley. I could also see Tatum Paxley coming up because Tatum Paxley also had a main event run and she's doing this North America run.
Yeah, but since she has the title, they won't bring them up with the title.
Okay. Unless it's
They'll have to
after
lose their
Mania,
title.
because that's what they did with Stephanie, and then that's how they
Yeah.
brought Julie and Roxanne in as well.
And fucking Joe Hendry just lost his title,
Joe
but
Hendry.
there isn't any
Ooh.
special places for him to appear this time. I don't think.
Oh, there is one. There is one.
Where?
IC ladder match.
Oh
Because
my
it's
god,
a no.
someone gets taken out.
Yeah, I could see someone getting taken out because
Yeah.
of those, because we like you said, they're going to be probably adding a sixth person in. What if they make it a mystery opponent? Because we're not
Or what if they add Grande like he's pitching,
mm-hmm.
and then OG Grande
Takes
takes
out,
out El Grande, and they're like, "Shit! Well, I guess it's a mystery person."
and then he
And then
say his name.
he Loki might win it. If he pops up, he might win it. They
Oh,
might escalate him off the rip and then get him and Javon feud. I know they're both faces, but like, I think those
Penta.
two could still make it work.
Oh yeah, no. Plus, I feel like you can slot Penta in the main event scene. You can bring him into AAA and do some stuff.
Yeah,
There's a
you
lot
could
of
also
things
do that.
you can do with that. I think.
Pinta's also kind of one of those guys who doesn't have to have a title, and he's very entertaining without one.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good title chaser, like Cody is.
I would agree with that. I think the only reason why I want to see Penta get a main title is because I feel like that man has put in so much work and he's done. He was carrying Raw last year. Like he doesn't miss it.
Yeah,
That's
that
a,
unfortunately doesn't always mean payoff, though.
I know. A man can wish. A man can wish.
I don't think we ever see Pinto winning a WWE championship unless it's a 2-week transition somewhere.
I could see that. Or he wins and then instantly gets cashed in on like fucking Punk
Yeah.
did.
It's kind of like he's kind of like I know before you've said things like, "Oh, I think Javon's gonna be the next guy they elevate," and that's where I'm like, no, because he just doesn't fit that build.
No.
They look for a certain build.
Javon needs to probably put on about 50 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, like
Because
I think there's a world. I think Trick Williams wins a main card title before Javon Evans.
I
does.
agree with that 100%.
Now I think Oba wins one very soon before both of them. But
I agree with that too. I would say I think we're gonna get some women call ups here too from like the women's NXT division because like there's 6 or 7 women I can think of right now that you could call up from NXT, like Blake Monroe, Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley would be interesting because she's beefed with Lyra before in NXT because Lyra had a heel run in NXT. I know.
really,
Yeah,
I
she was
wasn't aware of
heel, and then so Blake, Tatum, Soul, Zarya. Zarya just lost to Soul on Stand and Deliver yesterday. JC Jane, and there's like one more. Can't think of right.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll ever call JC Jane up. I don't know what she has to do. But she also just lost the women's title too. So
I could see her being involved in there. I think, and honestly, that we're talking. What if they? Do you think they throw an extra tag team in here?
no, I had that thought too, but because if it was a TLC like I had originally predicted, then yeah, maybe. But I don't know. WWE also like how we're at with the grasping at straws thing.
Mm-hmm.
We could see some random fuckery with John Cena hosting because when we got the New Day hosting, one of the loudest pops of all time was them announcing the Hardy Boys being part of that tag team championship. So it feels like, with wrestling in the spot they are, they're like, shit. Well, that was really cool. So what if we do something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, my camera's dying.
No, you're good. That makes sense too. I would say because also there's like 3 people we need to get onto this card right now that aren't kind of going anywhere in terms of like celebrity wise. Like we got to get Danhausen in here. Whoa, we got to get Jelly Roll in here somehow, and we got to get ISHO Speed, and then Logan Paul also needs to be involved. And
did that Speed or the tag team match didn't get confirmed right because that Bet US had betting odds for the Vision and
Usos.
Yeah, but Vision and Usos, it was Vision plus Speed versus Usos plus Night. And there were betting odds for it.
Yes, they're both minus 100.
Yeah, but has that gotten announced?
No, it has not been announced yet.
So they're just assuming that they announced that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's probably how we get speed on the card. It's kind of, I hate that they're not doing a tag title match for it, but I get it.
We could do something with that. I think also Jelly Roll's got to get involved somehow.
He will.
Do you think? I think he gets a match.
I do too.
My question is, do you think he gets involved with Cody and Pat McAfee and Randy? Would that
So.
Okay. Is that going to torpedo that feud for you?
In like a positive or negative way?
Or do you think it's going to get worse if we start putting Jelly Roll beefing with Cody? Yeah. I mean Jelly Roll beefing with Pat.
Yeah, I think Jelly Roll makes it worse, but I do think that's what they're going to do.
Oh, man, that is... Yeah. I mean... do you think...
Yeah.
Do you think Kit Wilson gets left off the card, or do you think...
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's dead. I think the MFT and Wyatt Six are both off the card, with the exception maybe being Solo Sikoa getting involved in the main event of night 2.
Because he does that all the time.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm starting to lean away from Tiffy, but her being on that poster has me hung up.
Yeah, and same thing with Io, because it's like, we got to do something.
Io definitely gets some, but I think Io and Asuka we can lock in. Okay. I think that will happen.
All right, so let's move.
The Grandes won't be having a match.
I don't think so.
They'll get that masked match on AAA just because there's so much more hype about it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So, Usos and Vision, I feel like that's a lock.
That's a lock. Whether it's with LA Knight and Speed, I don't know, but that is going to be on the card.
Yeah, so I think it really comes down to... So, we need, like... If we're saying we're 16 matches, we're missing... Looks like... 3... we're missing 2. We're missing 2. So, I guess... I don't know what you...
We'd be missing 2 because the Usos and the Visions and the Io and Asuka would be 14 total. And then we would need to add 2 more, of course. I think Weapon Truth is getting a WrestleMania match.
I would agree with that.
They could just get a badass go home Friday Night Smackdown match, though.
That's true. That's very true. I could see that with the tag.
I wouldn't lock them.
I wouldn't lock them either.
We got to find out our advertisement match as well.
I think that's Fatu and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Because that's the unsanctioned one. That's the one. I mean, Drew McIntyre did it last year. I think what was the advertising match for 40?
I don't think that was pre them doing all that.
Okay.
They did. That last year was the first time they did that bullshit, I think.
Well, do you think we just get the Slim Jim ladders match?
We could. I don't know. That's beyond what we need to think about. I don't know. I think we get Weapon Truth, and then I think we get Tiffy.
Julia. That makes a lot of sense, because those are the only titles that aren't represented on the card.
Yeah. And I think it's stupid to have a title match. No. I understand they want to do something big for the go-home SmackDown, but I think it would be stupid to not just have... You have 14 to 16 matches. Just get every title involved.
Yeah. Plus, I think with, like, the SmackDown, you make that the last chance to get on Mania. And I feel like that's an easy way to sell that card, because who's going to be the last person to get on the Mania card?
Yeah. And then something we need to predict. Who's your Andre the Giant Battle Royale winner the Friday night before?
I don't know, but I'm going to have to... I got to go to the bathroom so bad, so we're gonna take a little pause here.
Let's just wrap it up.
Wrap it up. All right, my bladder's about to explode. We'll talk about Andre. I don't even know who would be in that. I'm going to say Royce Keys, because we have not seen him for...
It's actually a very good prediction.
We have not seen him in forever. But, all right, my bladder's about to explode, and this is our longest episode yet at almost an hour and 45 minutes. So, lots of things happening, a lot of fun discussion. Be sure to hit hit that bell. Reminder, we are going to be doing a post-Mania quick recap after night 2 in 2 weeks. We'll also be doing that, so see you all next time.